it's Julia, and I'm back with another video. And as you know, I have my Minnie Mouse ears. I know this video has to do with Disney again, but you know, I decided, well, you might know what I'm about to talk about because of the title of this video. I'm about to tell you how I felt before coming to Disney World and after. So, let's get started. So, I mean, it was a great trip and all, but there was also some deep anxiety about this trip, and you know, and something happened after that, so, which is why I decided to make this video and talk about it with you guys. Okay, so I want to talk about what happened to me before we went on vacation. So what happened was before I had a deep anxiety going because I did not want to miss out on my education, and also I didn't want to take away many of my days at school because you know, it's my last year there and I love my middle school. Also, I have some tea to the next reason. So I thought she'd be able to come here and explain the reason with me, but, you know, because of the virus that's spreading all over America and the world, I have to spill it myself, so. Okay, so Sonali came back. Sonali was coming back that week from California, and I really wanted to see her back at the school so badly. I mean, I was still in touch with her, but, like, I wanted to see her face to face, first time in 2020. So, yeah. So, anyways, I didn't know when I was supposed to go or not. Ever since Valentine's Day, I had that anxiety. Well, actually, we found out a couple of weeks before we were going, so, well, that was when my parents knew it at the time, but then it wasn't until Valentine's Day that my mom said, okay, so Julia, here's an option for you. You could either come with us to Disney on this paradise vacation, or you could, well, obviously not stay back here at home because I'm still a minor. I'm only 14 years old. I am not old enough to stay here alone. I think I probably have to be 17 or 18 for that. So, or you could stay back with Grandma and Susan and Layla. I mean, we'd be upset to go without you, but your choice. And I didn't want your choice, but I mean, I didn't want to make my mom feel bad, so I just decided to go. Yeah, I decided to go. But however, I was still nervous. Like, I still had that anxiety. Day after Valentine's Day was the February birthdays. Again, I still had anxiety, and no one knew. When we had company here, nobody knew about the anxiety. No one knew. It wasn't until February 17th I told my parents. So what happened, that night was terrible. So, you know, that night when we were watching Avatar, which is a ride at Animal Kingdom at Disney, like, that was when I had anxiety because obviously it had to that movie was getting us ready and prepared for the ride at Disney, at Animal Kingdom, you know, and that night I really had an anxiety attack. So, of course my parents didn't know, so my heart was racing so fast, like, I never had that before. I mean, I usually run back and forth and my heart starts to beat fast, but, like, you know, that's different. That night I wasn't running, so, but it could be a combination of things that my heart is racing because, you know, I've been eating a few cookies that night, like, 5 or 6 cookies, and they were homemade, and I just love the flavors. The flavors were chocolate chip, brownie, or funfetti. And it can also be a combination of, you know, lately, well, at that time, I haven't been getting enough sleep. So, I haven't been getting enough sleep that week, so, So yeah, so maybe that was it, but it was mostly anxiety. So, and then, I said, and then all of a sudden I just, like, I accidentally, like, I fell asleep during the movie because I was so tired. I haven't been getting enough sleep. And then, my dad just asked if I wanted to go to bed. And then I said, no. And then he said, are you sure? And then I said, yeah, I'm fine. And then later I told him, Dad, I think my heart is racing. And then he felt my pulse, and then he said that it was 80. So he said that it wasn't racing, but, you know, it was kind of a miscommunication there because I just realized then, well, that was when it stopped racing. You know, I meant to say my heart was racing. That's what I meant to say. And then later I called my mom, and she was on the way home from from my grandma's, but I called her that night and I said that my heart was racing. And then, well, I mean, she wasn't, like, worried, but, like, you know, that night I told my parents about the anxiety. And yeah, I told my parents about the anxiety, and then I begged them, like, not to go. And, like, I told them several reasons why I don't want to go. And you know, but then, well, of course, obviously I went. I mean, based on the vlogs, I went and decided to go. Even though I mean, I was still a bit scared though, but, you know, I decided to go because it was the right thing to do. And I did not want to miss out on my dad's birthday because he was turning 50, and I know 50 is a big age. I wanted to be there during his real birthday. I wanted to be there for him. So I eventually went, and I had a good time. And so, yeah, so basically that's what happened. That's what happened. That's what happened before before the trip. Now I'm going to talk about what happened after the trip. So, March 1st, when we came back from the plane, my throat started to feel, like, it wasn't really feeling okay. My throat started to hurt a little bit. So, you know, I told my mom about it, but, you know, she still sent me to school the next day because it wasn't really that bad. But then a few days later, March, I think, I'm just looking back at my calendar. I think March 4th to 5th, it was getting bad because my nose was runny and I was coughing constantly, like, very constantly. It was frequently. Yeah, I just did frequent coughing, and, you know, we all thought it was a cold. I thought it was a cold, like a common cold. I thought it was a severe cold. And March 5th, it was again a terrible night because I was coughing pretty frequently, and then my mom said, okay, you're staying home tomorrow. Like, you have to stay home. And then I said, yeah, I think I agree. Well, the past nights I didn't agree to stay home, but that night I did agree because I realized, that I was actually getting ill and sick. So, yeah. And then on Friday, March 6th, usually Friday's the best day, right? Well, actually, that was the worst day for me because I was coughing frequently again. Yeah, I was coughing, and then I cried that morning. Like, I was about to cry that morning when I woke up, and I took nebulizer, and my parents did everything they could to help me, like nebulizer and toast and tea. The tea didn't really taste anything, like didn't really taste like anything because my taste buds weren't in 100%. But anyways, I ate toast for breakfast and I drank tea. And then after that, they said that they were taking me to the doctor. So, got dressed, went to the doctor. So, and then we told him what was going on of my frequent coughing and then runny nose. And then, he checked my throat. And then with that stick, whatever it's called, he did antibiotics. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. But, he did that, and he looked at my throat, and then he said that I had bronchitis. And then I was like, what? I was relieved that it wasn't the virus that we had, like, that's spreading all over the world, in America, and New York especially. So I was relieved it wasn't that, but it was bronchitis. And, I didn't really know what to experience because that was only the first case of bronchitis that I had. So, and then, I didn't really know what to experience. Bronchitis is usually, the sickness that causes your lungs to be a little different. Causes you to cough frequently and, maybe affects your breathing, but hey, I knew I was gonna get through it. So, yeah, I'm a fighter, if you ask me. And, that weekend, it was terrible for me. And that Friday night, I was supposed to go to the party, with Layla, the OGs, and Ryan, but I couldn't because I was so ill that I had to stay home. And, it was a terrible weekend for me because during that weekend, I was cooped up in the house. So anyways, on Saturday, I felt, like, I still felt the same way as March 6th, and then, but my voice sounded, like, my voice was cracked, sounded weird, and every time I would laugh, it would trigger a cough. And so, I was trying not to laugh when I would see funny videos or funny scenes in a movie or a TV show. Oh, I had to crack a knuckle. So, yeah. Oh, and I have footage of that voice. The anxiety attack, I don't have footage of that night. But, I have some footage of my bronchitis. So, if you guys want to take a look, take a look. And I also took a picture of the yogurt. Because my parents thought it would help. Usually I would eat yogurt those weekends. So, yeah, but anyways, take a look. I'm so mad upset because last night I was supposed to go to a party, but I couldn't go because I have this, as you all know. Yeah, I was and still am mad upset. So after watching those clips and, seeing those photos, you're probably thinking, oh my god, Julia, your voice sounds different than today. And yeah, my voice was really weak. I didn't like it. And it sounded weird to me. Okay, so on Sunday, I woke up without a cough. And, I started to feel a little bit better. However, still frequent coughing. But then later that night, I was fine. No cough. Just fine. Well, I woke up and went to sleep without a cough. So I was starting to feel a little better. I was starting to heal a little bit. And we were deciding whether or not if I was going to go to school the next day, March 9th. And then my parents said, Julia, I don't know. I think we're going to give it 1 day of rest. And then I was like, whoa, we can't give it one more day. And then, well, it eventually became 1 more day of rest. So it was a 4-day weekend for me. It was pretty terrible at the beginning, but then things started to heal at the end. So on Monday, again, I woke up without a cough and went to sleep without a cough. And that was the day I uploaded the free day video from at Disney when we were hanging out at the Disney Springs. It was the same day as Sunday, but this time it wasn't like frequent coughing. It was somewhat coughing. Still a lot, but like somewhat. Wasn't like really frequent as the past few days. So all I did was that day was, listen to music and watch videos on YouTube and just do all of that. And then the next day on Tuesday, and that time I did go to school. I still had nebulizer, but I still went to school that day. And I was, again, somewhat coughing, but, it was healing and I was starting to get better that week. So, yeah. And then eventually, I think, Thursday or Friday, I was coughing. I was barely coughing. So, and which was good because I was getting better. Yep. Better. And then eventually, I think last week, now almost becoming 2 weeks, I stopped coughing, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, the coughs are gone, and which means bronchitis is gone, and I feel better. And once I found out they were gone, I was just so happy, because I was just so happy that I was better. Of course, those times, they were terrible, but I overcame it, and I was going to be fine. Just like how I overcame my ear infection. You guys probably might remember that video. It was, just when I get sick of something, I usually think of my swimmer's ear infection. So, I usually think of that, for some reason. Oh, I have to go down for dinner. I'll be right back. But I was feeling better. I'm sorry that I speed up the stories, but I just want to get over Disney. I just want to get over this quickly. Okay, guys, so I just finished. Sorry. I just finished eating dinner. So, anyways, what I was about to say, but before I knew about my bronchitis, I thought it was a cold, obviously, I told you before. I actually blamed Disney for it, because, it was changing to weather, in New York it was starting to get warm, but in Florida it was cold, then warm, hot, warm. You know, it kept on changing weather. So at first, you know, I blamed Florida for it. Like, I blamed Disney for it. And then, well, it wasn't until I got the bronchitis, then I stopped blaming it. I mean, I was sick after Disney before. When I first went when I was 6, when we were coming back, when we came back home, I actually had 2 appointments in one day, the day after we went home. And I think I had a cold or cough, I don't know. But, like, I literally had to go to 2 appointments in a row in one day. First, I had to go to the dentist. I mean, we were due to go. And then the doctor. Ryan went for a well visit. Me, on the other hand, I kind of went for a sick visit. And then when I went in 2015, 2 weeks after my birthday, I started to... I did not feel well with it. I had a cold that lasted probably approximately around 4 to 5 days. It lasted. I even had it throughout New Year's Eve. And that time, I had to go to the doctor's on New Year's Eve again. I even had to go to the doctor the year I was born, 2005, New Year's Eve, my first doctor's appointment. And then 10 years later, in 2015, I go to the doctor's on New Year's Eve again. And this time, along with Ryan, we both went to the doctor because we were both sick with a cold. So, yeah. And then in 2017, I think probably I was okay that year, maybe. I think I was okay. I was fine. So, yeah. So anyways, that was it for my video. Yeah, that was it, guys. I hope you guys liked it. Yeah, hopefully give it a thumbs up. And comment down below. Well, actually, let's talk about that for a second. So, in certain of my videos, well, lately, comments haven't been turning off. I mean, well, number one, because I probably turned it off, you know, comments are disabled, but if you ask me that, I don't know, but, like, that was not me. Plus, I don't know how to turn off the comments. And then number two, another reason, that's what I looked up on Safari, is to protect minors. Yeah, I mean, well, especially me, 14, because I'm a minor, and it's to protect minors. And then number three, oh man, I forget number 3. Yeah, I forget, but YouTube probably blocked the comments in some of my videos to protect minors. I mean, there's still comments available in some of my videos, but, like, I don't know about this one. I'll have to see. But anyways, subscribe and turn on my post notifications. And I'm about to take these ears off. Oh, ow, but they're off. Oh, before I go, I have a new outro that I'm about to say. Well, because of this virus called, obviously, the coronavirus. So, number 1, well, actually, I'm not going to do number 1 or 2. So, anyways, stay safe and healthy. Wash your hands. And think that the impossible is always possible. And shine bright like a rainbow. Okay, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!